Welcome to Pro No Code Office Hours, episode 242. I'm your host, Cameron. I'm here with Tanya and Chris today. Before we get started, if this is your first time tuning in, we do this 6 times per week. We invite our members onto Zoom. They can ask us bubble questions they want, send us their questions, comments, concerns, anything like that. We can't promise answers, but we do promise you won't suffer alone. And we get it right most of the time. So with that said, Chris, we're going to go ahead and start with you since you have I imagine questions for us. Yeah.
Yeah, I do. And I think I'll start with one that I think, Tanya, I think you probably know where I might go with this one. Back to our graph that I was messaging about. And so maybe I can share and you can walk me through how we're supposed to maybe set this up from the x-axis point of view.
Okay.
I'm struggling with like how it's supposed to kind of tie together here, which I imagine is not super difficult, but anyway, so again, this is like, just to refresh, we're kind of tracking tallies through a recursive workflow on like check-ins for like people checking in at businesses. And I want to ultimately get to a point where we have a bar chart, if you will, that tracks a series of check-ins for that specific business or company over a 12-month period. And can be seen also in, like, when I say series, I mean by gender. So I can tell whether it's a male or a female, or if the user preferred not to say. Does that ring a bell?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. So the piece
we're creating the tallies in a recursive workflow, but we're updating the tallies with database triggers,
yes,
right?
Correct. Yes. So the piece that I'm struggling with, it seems to be populating the tallies correctly. I figured out the whole like issue we were seeing where it was tallying twice over once. Figured that out, but the piece that I'm struggling with now is getting the x-axis to always show me like a 12-month period.
Got it.
It seems to always just want to show me like 1 month, and it seems to be like 12 December, for example, which just doesn't make sense.
Okay.
So
I'm actually glad that Cameron's here because he might be better at this than me.
I think I'm going to meet with him later today in a one-on-one session too for something else. So.
Oh, nice. Cool.
Yeah, I think 2:30, so in a couple hours. So we're trying to make it to where the X value is displaying the months in this case, right? And then at least 12. Is it per? To my understanding, it's per object or record. Is it a business or what exactly are we telling?
I'll show you what the end result kind of looks like right now and what I'm expecting to see.
Okay.
Real quick. Let's just use. Oops. So a business has, we have kind of like 2 different sets of logins or user types. One is like your average customer, just like you or me, who would go to a store and purchase something. And then we have like a business account where somebody, a manager of a specific business, would have access to build a profile and add offers, things of that nature. Landing, I want to be able to create as much like information from them from like a statistics point of view as I can in the future. And we'll just kind of, as time goes, build on it. But very simplistic nature right now is I just want to see something like this where I see a total number of check-ins for a period. And then I want to see basically by month. So if you imagine January through December as an x-axis, and then how that distributes amongst, like the total male, female check-ins for that month.
Gotcha. Okay. So the x-axis should show the months, but each month should contain these data points, the all check-ins, male check-ins, female check-ins, and then prefer not to say check-ins.
Yep.
And then Cameron, what I had Chris do the last time we met was I had him actually create a separate data type. So it will literally just be one record per month. And then Bubble just needs to grab the numbers from the fields on those records for each one. So it's not, Bubble doesn't have to calculate it dynamically.
Gotcha. Okay. And so another point of clarification, I suppose, is that so there are going to be multiple different businesses. Are these dashboards individual? Are they specific to this business?
Yes.
Okay, that it seems like a silly question. I just want to make sure.
Yep.
So cool. We have the check-in tallies, and is this what Tanya had you create? The check-in tallies?
Yep.
Okay, so it's per. Okay, huh? It is. So the x-axis definitely we need 12 separate items to display 12 separate months. What we could end up doing is trying to think of specifying the months in the records. So we're calling one business. We're looking at 12 records, Monday or January through December. Man, charts are fun. Okay. Well, off the top of my head, I would assume that we'd want to use a unique element, or at least the unique element operator inside the data that we're pulling into the x-axis to pull 12 separate unique items, looking at the month as the filter. That's where I would start with pulling the x-axis data. Now, Tanya, how do you create this database here? So it contains all of the businesses. We're looking at where it has then the tallies. Does it say, is there any specific where it says which month it's related to? I see where we have start date.
Yeah, so the start date is 12 a.m. the first day of the month that it belongs to.
Yep. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, let's go ahead and save that and go back to our x-axis where we can put that data in. So this is called all check-in tallies.
Yes, that is. Yep.
Okay. So let's see if this works. Where we're looking at the parent group's check-in tallies, we may need to change the parent group. What is the parent group? What are we looking at? So it is just a checked. Okay. And then the data source, don't necessarily know if you need to put it, but it would be this brand's check-in tally, right? So we do a search for the check-in tallies where the constraint is this brand's.
Yeah, but that's only going to give you one tally. So let's do instead,
right.
like if we go into the chart itself and just instead of saying parent groups check-in tallies total tally, we'll clear that out and we're going to do a search for and then check-in tallies. Yeah.
Then we put the constraint of whichever brand.
Yep, it's the
company. Yeah.
Probably the current users. Yeah.
Current users company. Yeah.
Cameron, our likeness is showing.
Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
I'll buy you one later.
Sweet. Check in so now after this, so search for check-in tallies. We should be able to filter by unique elements.
No, I think
that might not be the best way to do it, but I'm thinking that if there's if there's more than 12, it'll pull in 12. It'll pull in
right. If you only want to show for a particular year, so probably what we do you want to show like a rolling 12 months or do you want to show the 12 months of a particular year?
So I think of a particular year is kind of how I envisioned this initially, with the ability to just like toggle the 12.
Got it. Okay, that's perfect. Actually, I think that's easier. So then let's go back to search for check-in tallies and then add a new constraint. And then
start date contains drop down.
Yes. So start date.
It's a text, right? Or is it formatted as a date? That looked like a text.
So I think one thing that we can do on the check-in tally is we could probably just have a year that is either a text or a number field, and that would just make it super simple to search here, like way simpler than trying to deal with dates.
We could.
But what do you think?
What I've done in the past, because I deal with dates with the one of the main apps that I am actively working on, we just contains and then format it as date, and then we select the year. Why?
Oh, can you let Callum in? Who wants to come in?
Oh yes, of course. Got so carried away. Hey, oh, hey, Callum, welcome. All right, so let's go click on the search for check and tallies again, and that constraint that we're going to be doing. So start date is going to, oh, I see, it is a date, isn't it? It's not a text field. So like Tanya was saying, on that record, I would include, in this case, the best way to do it would be just having a year as a reference. So we'll create a new field. We'll type in year. You can set it as a text just to be safe.
Okay.
Number definitely wouldn't hurt because we're dealing with just integers, but I have this preference of using a text personally, because with dates, you can also include, well, text elements. But yeah, go ahead and create that. And then now inside one of your, I guess, 12 individual records that you have for check and tallies, we're going to want to make sure that we're instantiating a date for whichever brand we're dealing with currently.
Oh, I just spelled it. Anyway.
Yeah, it's like 2022. So with this, we're going to get one record. Yep, so add a new constraint. And then year, yeah. I do contain keywords a lot, personally. That's the way that I do it. You don't have to. Contains keywords and contains.
This is where we needed dynamic to your dropdown that you had.
Yeah, so now we click on click. And then whatever drop-down value.
Or you were flipping through like the different years.
Oh, this here.
Yeah. So if that's
this is not as, I guess, not dynamic on this. What is it doing? Text or group state? Oh, so this one.
Oh, we're just taking the date time. Okay.
Group choose period. Yeah. I had somebody else help me with this piece. So
yeah, no worries. We should still be able to work with that.
So group choose period.
Yep.
extract year. And then format as.
I think it's
No,
already coming
actually,
as a text because we're.
Is it? Okay. Yeah, okay, that works. It looks like, or clear out the, yeah, delete the formatting, the number. Choose periods. Contains keywords, but we want to extract the year, definitely. Yeah. And then it's not, okay, yeah, I took it. Okay.
And then I suppose what we could do is each item's, well, or we could just do item until number 12, I suppose. There's a couple different ways we could approach this.
Well, I mean, only 12 of them will have that year.
So we could just do each items then?
Yep.
Yeah, we can. So let's,
each item start dates month. Extract month, I guess, or how would we do that?
So we've only added 1 year to one record, but if we do preview this, we should at least have one record.
Which you already had, so we need to add 2. Need to do another one.
These would be different companies, though. I just want to see the one.
Well, you can do that. Oh, you can do that too. Yeah. You could just also search for either using the unique ID or the Insight Brewing, and it would just isolate only those ones.
Not sure if that's a great one to use, but anyway, we can look at it.
Okay. Yeah, that should work.
Oops. Okay.
Okay, so there's 2 records here. Looks like each of them have one. It's starting at 2, going to 3.
It's because I think the first record of
Is
a check-in is
February.
in February. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, cool. Well, yeah, so we're making progress, it looks like.
Yep. Definitely in the right direction.
Sweet. Yeah, so it's just a matter of making sure that when your records are created, we're taking the year out of the date and putting that there. And then based on the constraints that we've put, it's going to pull those months. And then, yeah, for this, it's looking at that value, and then we should be good to go.
I think even in like periods where there's like 0, right? I think I still want to find a way to say 1 through 12, even if there's nothing there.
That will happen because you are creating a check-in tally for each company, regardless of whether it's ever updated. So since the record will exist in the database, it will show there even if it has 0 check-ins.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Awesome.
Sweet.
Super
Really
helpful.
glad we got that for you.
I can keep working through other parts of it, but at least I'm seeing much closer to what I was hoping to. So
Awesome.
awesome.
Hey, Callum.
What up?
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing A-okay. So you had messaged me about an API. You need some help with that. So you're able to get it working, but not able to pull the data.
Yeah, I'll share my screen. So the API is the UK government Companies House public API to bring in company information. I say it was working because it was. I think I might have screwed it up while trying to fix it, but let's have a look. There we go. Just see if this. Nope. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so it has initialized, but total results 0.
Can you show raw data for me? Very simple. Okay, cool. Yeah, go ahead and click save out of that. So obviously we want more than 0 results. We're looking for anything. So
yeah.
Let me pull up their documentation. You said it was the Companies House.
Yeah, I don't know if you'll be able to. You think you have to have an account, but here it is here. So
Okay, yeah, if you want to show me, perfect. Okay.
Let me know what you need to see.
Yep. So I see the query parameters: queue, items per page, start index, and restrictions. Okay. And at any point, you said this did work.
Well, it did work in the sense that we got it to initialize and everything, which means something's happening, but we never got it to actually work and bring in any data.
Gotcha. Okay. Wondering if we, instead of wanting to use parameters, want to send in a JSON body instead, which would basically accomplish the same thing, but let's find out. So I'm going to open up.
I also wondered if, when I was working on this with Callum, if maybe some of the other parameters that they accept might be required, actually.
So we did put them in, didn't we? But they didn't work either.
Yeah.
So I took them out, but they were in there.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to, let me see here. Go back to the API requirements real quick. Cool. So it's items per page, because if we're not passing in an items per page, there is a good chance that this system is seeing it as a 0. And so it's saying, oh, they don't want anything back. Like, we'll send a query in, but we're not going to actually we're not going to provide anything, being that, well, there's nothing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass, or I'm going to give you some JSON body.
Sure.
Just quickly modifying it for us. I'm going to paste it here now. Where did Zoom go? Here it is. And just double check it before I send it. Okay, cool. This code should work. So we want to put that in your JSON body instead of using parameters. Now, we could use parameters. Before we even modify the JSON body, I do think it would be a good idea to include the items per page and the parameter, just in the event that it is passing in a 0, so it's not actually going to return anything.
Okay, so what adds header?
We would actually be adding a URL parameter.
Okay. Okay, so how am I doing that again?
Yeah, so there's two ways to do it. You would either add an and sign and then a bracket, or it would be and then it would be items per page equals bracket. And it's underscore between items per and page.
Yep.
And just say that items or count 0 or 1 or 2 or whatever you want it to be.
What, just a number in there? So like,
yeah, because it's going to be dynamic. We're going to modify it regardless.
Got you.
But yeah, then the value, let's start with 10. Let's see if this wants to work for us.
Nope.
So we are passing in items per total reserved start index.
Although actually we've started with 10. Wasn't that the original number anyway?
You got to change the, yeah, there you go.
Oh no, that's working. There's still no results.
Okay. It wouldn't be that easy, would it? Okay. Yeah, wouldn't that be cool? So next guess, what I would do, let's take these URL parameters out.
Can I just share something? So someone did have the same issue. I don't know if any of this helps because I have no idea what some of this is, but it's referring to the same thing, and it was 21st September, so it's fairly recent, and they got it working. Because they had registration number instead.
They need to send, was it in a header, the authorization?
Yeah, so we put the authorization.
Yeah, that would make sense. Okay. Keep scrolling down for me a little bit. So this guy is saying, I'm here to help, and he shows how to do it. Does it provide a solution here?
Yeah, so they did put a solution. But yeah, so thanks for the quick discussions, triggering me to do different permutations. Good news, finally got it working. And they had all those. Yeah, authentication, I had to choose private key and header, which it's already done. I don't know if you have to have all of those in there, but I don't know what any of those are apart from the authorization one.
It'd be really weird if you actually needed to do that.
Yeah, it's even the same API.
Go back to your API connector, and are we specifying what content type we're accepting?
Where would that be? Sorry.
So it would be, we'd want to put it inside the header. So add a new header. Right under authorization, yep. And we're going to want to put content type in all lowercase, content hyphen type. And then application / JSON. And I can include that in the Zoom chat just so you have the double check. JSON.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's see if this changes anything. No results still. Okay.
It's one of those annoying ones where I know it's definitely not the API, it's something that Bubble's doing or something that we're doing, because obviously it's used by a lot of people around the country. So
Yeah, sure. I totally get that. Yeah, Bubble has a really weird way of doing certain things with their API connector. We ran into an issue just the other day with Google Scripts, and so it worked on Postman, didn't work inside the Bubble API connector,
Weird.
which is obviously very, very strange. Nobody likes that. But what I'm thinking that we're going to want to do, and actually before we do that, we might be able to, so the authorization, that's it looks like just either an API key or a private key. Can you go to the documentation for me real quick so we can look at the authorization? Because we're not passing anything like bearer or basic. It's just that string. And I wonder if maybe it recognizes it, but it isn't exactly as it should be.
Right. Oh God, where is it?
It did mention, I think, something like that in authentication, where it says basic.
Yeah, so there is a basic where it says get and then host and then authorization down near the bottom of your screen. So I would assume that putting basic there as a prefix would it would help. Let's go ahead and try that.
Where am I putting that in front of that?
In front of that string, authorization, and then the value 4704. So
Yep.
right in, yeah, so capital B, and then ASIC, and then yep. Give it a nice little space, and let's authorize that. Or initialize it.
Nope.
No, again, wouldn't be that easy. No.
I wish.
Okay. Ooh. Accept host. An API information.service. So I'm just looking at the URL and it looks right. .gov.uk. Yep. Interestingly enough, because are we passing in a host? We may need to pass in a host as well. I'm seeing that I'll give you 1 second, actually. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to open up Postman.
Okay.
And we're going to see what Postman's able to do for us. And I'll share my screen so we can see what we're doing. Do you want to go ahead and take that data that you currently have? And do you want to post it in chat so I can set it up?
Yeah, sure. What data do you need?
I'm going to need the initialization. So the authorization, and then whichever API call we're making.
Oh, right. So, okay, got you. So you need the address. And then you need, I'm assuming you need my API key as well, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Authorization. Basic. There we go. Oh, let me share my screen. I apologize. The authorization header. Oh, well, it's because it didn't finish typing that. Okay. So we have the parameters, the query, the value. This is how you spelled it, right?
Yeah.
That's what you were looking for. Okay. Items per page. We're looking for 20. Authorization. Now we're passing that in the header. So authorization basic, then this is your API key.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to see just even in the Zoom chat. It always finds a way to disappear. Okay, go ahead and share your screen for me real quick. I want to take another look and compare. Okay, just to double check, this is all there is for this particular API? Or do you have anything else? This is it. Okay. Give the private API key in the header. Okay. Hope we could get this to work in Postman. I'm passing the same stuff with the header authorization. Okay, so it did just send through on Postman for me, but it resulted in the same 0. So is there a different query that we could try, perhaps?
So, I mean, should we just try one of the other APIs or something? So,
So Harrods is a leading luxury department store, correct?
yeah.
Okay.
So these are all the different options we've got. Try search all. Nope.
We say, oh no, we need the required parameter is the query, right? So we
Yeah.
need to be passing in a query. We can't just search.
Yeah.
We force the. I got it to work on Postman. And one of the reasons why, let's go back to your API connector.
You got it working.
Yeah, fortunately.
Nice.
That is because our query is in brackets. We have the query search Q, right? So what we need to do is we need to put before that question mark, we need to put Q equals Q brackets.
Oh yeah, forgot about that. Q equal.
No, after the question mark, you're good. There we go. So now it's going to be looking at Q, and Q we're saying is now Herod. So yeah, let's go ahead and search this. We did it.
Thank
Yay. Badass. Sweet. Yeah, I was looking at the URL, like the parameters that we were sending in, and I was like, well, it looks right. But then I realized
that was on me.
It said that my value was bracket Q bracket. And I was like, no, it should just be Q. So, okay, cool. Very glad that we got that taken care of.
Sorry, Cal.
I know. I know.
Tanya.
The first time you taught me to do an API, you taught me it was Q equals square brackets Q.
I'm sorry. No, that's on me.
Oh, that probably explains why all my other APIs aren't working as well.
Oh man, hey, we did it though. Now it's gonna be working. Sweet.
Banging. And do I have to pass a query then? So I can't just start with a full list of like a blank.
Yeah, no, you're not going to be able to. That's almost what we were doing when we weren't including a query. We weren't passing in anything, and so it resulted in us not getting anything.
Well, yeah, but that wasn't why it resulted in anything not coming through now, was it?
Well, I mean, it could be chalked up to the fact that the entire query was just incorrect. But realistically,
I don't know why I'm asking. I can just try it.
yeah. Realistically, though, if we're not including a query, it's not going to pass anything. And I tried that on Postman. I removed the query. In fact, just did search/companies and sent it, and it came back with nothing.
Okay. I guess I can. Yeah. I mean, I guess I can just start with like, if you just put in one letter like A, does it just show up with all businesses that begin with the letter A?
That is a good question. Testing
I just want
right now.
I just want some data there without having to search it necessarily.
Yeah, no worries. So I typed in A, and the first result is A security, which I guess is a security business.
That would be a really good guess.
If I had to guess, yeah. Then we have like
just really fucking with people.
Yeah. And then we have looks like the next result is AAA Curry House. So it does look like if you just include one letter, it's going to pull the most relevant, starting at least with that letter.
Yeah, but now you really made me want a curry tonight. So that's on you.
Man, I can't hate on that. I just saw a TikTok of this one girl trying Indian food for the first time, and I got really hungry for some tikka masala. So
yeah. You don't go spicier than that. It's got to be like a vindaloo or a madras. I always go for like king prawn madras. Love it.
Man, now I'm getting hungry. Gosh, can't do this to me. No.
First time me and Tonya did this, we ordered pizza, didn't we, Tonya?
We ordered pizza. When did we order pizza?
The first time we ever did office hours.
We did?
We did. I had the garlic chicken pizza, and then you were like, "Oh, you made pizza," and you ordered pizza.
Yes, that's true.
That's a core memory.
That totally sounds like something I would do.
Indeed. 3 bottles of red wine in. Oh, also, I'm glad that's fixed. Thank you.
Yeah, rock on. I wanted to hop over back to Chris momentarily. Chris, is there anything else that we can help you with?
I'm curious. I was just going to ask a question, more of a preference for, I mean, really the three of you, but I'm looking to try to like automate some more like marketing style emails. So I'm working with SendGrid right now. And what I want to be able to do is like initiate a welcome email to certain customers when they sign up. Likewise, when we have like business partners or companies sign up, I want to initiate a kind of like a best practices welcome type email where we're informing them about like how to create the most effective profile to reach the most of the user base, right? I'm just curious from your experiences, like what types of like, let's call them software that you've used and prefer to use. So like SendGrid's what I'm using right now just to mess with, but I'm curious.
Or Tanya says anything?
Postmark.
Yeah, before she says anything, Postmark.
Yeah, no, I refuse to work with SendGrid anymore. It is their deliverability is horrible. Even when you're like sometimes paying for their better deliverability, and their better deliverability is going to cost you way more than say Postmark that has a better reputation for deliverability, and it's like only $10 per month versus $90 per month for similar like amounts of email. So I'm not even scoping with SendGrid anymore. I just scope everything out to be on Postmark out of the gate.
Okay. And are there some like, I'm pretty new to a lot of it, but in terms of like integration with Bubble, how are you doing that with Postmark?
Yeah, I really like, I'm going to share my screen actually because I can show you. I really like AirDev's plugin for it. So AirDev has Canvas with their template, which comes with this plugin, but they also offer it independently. So if I just look for AirDev.
That's the one my app uses, isn't it, Tonya? The one that you
Uh-huh.
sub.
That's the one I installed in your app, exactly. So email for Canvas, it's free to use, and you just go ahead and install it, and you can use either SendGrid or Postmark with it, and it is it's pretty simple. So you'd come in here, and then they're looking for, let me see here, let's make sure, SendGrid, so Postmark account, Postmark. So API key, I guess, is if you're like working with SendGrid. Postmark. So yeah, you just enter your Postmark stuff in here. And then once you've got that set up, then you have access to these actions where you can send a custom email or a basic email. It's just a nicely formatted HTML email, and you have options for like buttons and stuff like that. So if I just
does a custom email, would that include like certain dynamic fields?
Yeah, so if I just go to start here and then I go to send custom email here. So I would just say, instead of SendGrid, I would say Postmark. Right. So SendGrid or Postmark, either one. And then you have your, like, it gives you all of these options. So your to email from, your from name, your reply to name, CC, BCC, subject, and then it has this like HTML section here that you can customize, or you can send the basic one. The basic one is what I usually do, I think. I do this send basic email. And then instead of having that, the HTML, you just have your body here, but they give you the option to include a button, and then you can say which color you want the button, where you want the button to take people, what the button text is, all of that fun stuff. And then you can also have mail merge values, which I think is really nice. So you can set another key value here. So you can set like, if you want to look for a particular word. So usually what we do in Canvas is we'll do like first name like this in with stars around it. And then if you put stars around it in the body of your email, then it will go and search dynamically and replace that.
Okay. Yeah.
So.
Awesome. That's what I was looking for. So.
Yep. And I think, I just like Postmark just seems to be working so much better. I was having so many complaints from so many clients about emails not delivering and problems with emails. And so I just switched them all over to Postmark.
Okay. Awesome. Super helpful. I'll give that a shot.
Yeah, no worries.
Well, sweet. Yeah, Postmark definitely is better than SendGrid. Just watching what Sam had set up with it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was pretty. Yeah, that was pretty cool because you can parse emails coming into and have them come into Bubble as well. So like you could create your own like experience with email in Bubble. You can do that with SendGrid too, but I think Postmark is awesome. So
Rock on. Hell yeah.
Do you want to see something that I think's a bit awesome?
Do it. Let's
Yeah.
see.
always. Is
Yeah,
it the
always.
circle?
Have I worked on anything else for the last 2 years, Tonya?
No.
Then yes, it is.
Well, that's what
Right.
I mean.
Right. Oh god, what's going on there? Sign in.
That was not a complaint. I love the circle.
Oh, it's looking very different these days. I mean, not the actual app. I haven't updated it in months because I've been working on this so hard. But if you go to business and we go to business search, and then we type in the circle ink, I can now find my own company with my own app.
Nice.
That
Love
is
it.
pretty badass.
Thank you.
Awesome.
I've got business search. I've got search jobs, which that, oh, by the way, Tony, that's still using the same API that we can actually. Do you want another API challenge, Cameron? This is the one that me and Tonya first set up like a year.
Oh my God, it was a year ago.
It was this, yeah, it was this one where we've got it working and pulling in, but we still can't get the search functionality working. And yeah, I still don't know how it works. So like you'll select a location, but it won't. And this is pulling from, so you'll see it update, but it will say Portsmouth, but it's still, the location still doesn't actually match where it is. So it's updating something, but I don't know what it's updating.
So this is an API call. This isn't a repeating group where we're changing the constraints.
It's a repeating group, but it's an API call to get. It's from Reed's. Is it Reed? I think it is. Let's have a look. We can collapse that one. Finish with that now. Reed jobs, that one. Oh yeah, sorry. Actually, while I've got it, I also built this. I've got my Forex, I've got my crypto, and that's pulling in live crypto prices as well, which I thought was pretty cool.
That's very cool.
Thanks.
Sorry. You have a lot going on.
Oh yeah. And he's like, yeah, I've told him that.
It was originally called, and I still prefer it. It was originally called One Life when I met you, Callum. And I thought the idea behind One Life was, made a lot of sense for what you're doing. The idea is more like an app as an operating system than an app as an app.
Yeah.
Like you just do everything in the app.
So instead of having an app for news, an app for entertainment, an app for your finance stuff, an app to find jobs, an app for dating, an app for social media, it's all in one place. Yeah. Got the news feed.
Super inclusive, yeah.
Pretty cool.
Business feed, yeah. Oh yeah, sorry. So API. Let's open this up. You got that as an action for some reason. Am I being stupid, or are we missing the same thing that we're missing on the last one?
Looks like we are.
It looks like you are. See, it's a bad habit from like a long time ago.
Hang on, so I just need to...
I have since gotten APIs to work by myself, gentlemen. So.
Well, no, we couldn't even get this to initialize. It took us like an hour and a half to get it working in the first place.
That was crazy.
So I just type in keyword equals and then that, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Keyword equals keyword, and then location name equals location name.
There's
that is, of course, if that's what the parameters should be.
Could be. Yeah, I'd need to find the API documentation for it again. How often are you on office hours now, Cameron?
Monday, Tuesday, and Friday.
Oh, awesome! All right, cool. If that's wrong, we can take a look at this one on Monday.
Yeah.
Location name equals.
He's on Mondays and Tuesdays. He comes while you are hopefully asleep.
Oh, Mondays is while I'm asleep. Oh, do you do 2 on Monday?
Yep, we do 2 on Monday.
Got you. Okay, so it might just be Friday that you're on my hours then.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll have to wait till next Friday. So read API is job search locations value and input search value for keyword. And then this is read jobs API's data results. Oh, okay. So I'm using this drop down here to put, sorry, I'm using this to pull in the different options, so the different locations that jobs could be in. I've just realized I've still got, can these be blank? They can't, can they?
Typically no, especially if they're required for the API call, but you could make that dynamic data referencing that dropdown, right?
So referencing itself.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is this the drop down? Oh, okay. My apologies.
Yeah, that's right. So this is the drop down. So this is where I'm trying to bring in all of the different location names of different jobs, so that the person can then filter by I want to see jobs in London, etc. But obviously, I don't know why.
Like maybe you may be able to reference itself, because that's where you're getting the dynamic. The dynamic cities.
Doesn't usually like it when it references itself.
Yeah, no, I don't have high confidence in this, but
wow, it's done it. It's allowed it.
Well, it may have allowed it, but does it actually work though?
And then so that but that still needs to be use value. That might be actually. So let me just give that a test, because that makes sense, because that's now referring to, it's going to find all of the jobs that match what's. Oh no, because that's going to find all the jobs that match what's already. Oh fuck it, let's just see if it works.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, we'll see. One of the things that you can do is create an option set with all of the country, or not countries, but cities, perhaps. Use that in a drop down.
I could do, but it's the idea is that if there's not jobs in that certain place, then it won't show up as an option.
Oh,
but
gotcha. Okay.
Have a look. Is it going to load anything?
It's just circularly referencing
It's going
itself,
round and
so
round.
yeah, it's not going to. Okay.
Yeah, but nothing's ever going to show up there, is it? Because it's always going to look for something that's.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, didn't have high confidence in it, but still wanted to try it out just to see, right? So then the location.
Yeah.
That's curious, isn't it? How would you reference? Well, you need a list to reference for the cities.
Yeah. You need to have something in there, don't you? Well, actually, I tell you what, let's just try this. Let's delete that, because we can always put that in later and see if this works. So move that up, and this now should be following.
So let me ask, so prior we had London typed out.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, in that list, we were given more than just London, right?
Yeah.
So, and it looked like it updated to some degree. It didn't update accurately, but it did update, right?
That's what I mean. It's updating something. But let's see now. So what I want to see is if the search will work. Because I don't know what it's searching for. So I would hope it is searching by the job title, but it may be doing some kind of weird fuzzy search on the back end to pull in the results that they think are most relevant, rather than necessarily by job title. So let's try this. Yeah, see what I mean? It hasn't updated, even though.
Okay.
So let me ask you this.
That search back. Oh, what's up?
I was just going to say, so unlike the other, what's the difference between use as action or data? Because the other one, data, that we just used.
I use action for a lot of different things, especially if you're going to be using them in workflows. If you're not going to be using it in workflows, then you could use data.
Okay, let's.
So one of the things that you can do, I suppose, in a really weird way, is have a bunch of records that you create. You could do it like recursively, where every once in a while it creates a new list of cities where there are jobs found, and then you would reference that list as the location for your API call where you're trying to then filter. But that's, a little weird for having to do that. But the real thing here is that we do need a list of cities to be able to actually look at and modify and change to pass into that API. So you're saying that you need it to where there's only cities with jobs where there's jobs in those cities, right? And then we.
I mean, I don't really mind. So I'm just pulling
not jobs, but businesses.
Yeah, So jobs. So I'm just pulling.
They are jobs. Okay. Yep.
Yeah. So we're on jobs now. So I'm just pulling the lists. So let's just bring that back, shall we? I can show you what I was pulling in. It just said location. So I'm assuming it's the locations that are returned in the search.
Yeah, it would also help to see what the output is for that data. Because that may be the way that we want to do it. I just don't know what that output looks like.
There we go. So what did you want to look at? Sorry.
So in your API connector, when we're searching this, what does the output look like? Like the response? And scroll down. So you're saying it has a bunch of different cities, right? So location name is London. So it's referencing location, each item's location name, perhaps.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yeah, that's it. So it's referencing each item's location name, which is why there's only some that show up.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. Okay, click save. Let's go back to your that spot there. Let's go back to the actual drop down where you can modify that data. Okay, so this is a drop down. What we're doing is we're taking the choices from API call data's results, each item's location name. Okay, yeah.
Can I ask then? So when it's just data, is that static data? So it makes the API call once, and then we search the data that's returned.
I believe so.
So if that's the case, maybe that's why it's doing it. So it's returning however many results. Obviously, it's not returning the entire Indeed database of jobs. So it'll return, I don't know, 100 jobs, say. And then you change the filter. It's not resending the API request to bring in new data that matches that stuff, is it? So actually, it should be API call, and I need to do it that when the input changes, trigger an API call to update the data. Is that right?
Huh. Yeah, I mean, honestly, conceptually, that sounds right. Yeah, we'd need to see it in action to be able to actually verify that.
But yeah, I've never done API calls through workflows before, so you might have to walk me through it. But so if we go back here and then change this to, it's action already then. And then do when job search locations. It's do when input values change, isn't it?
Yep, when an input value is changed. I think it's under elements.
There you go. Yeah. Job search location. And then, right, what are we doing here then?
We would go down to custom events. And then, I'm sorry, no plugins probably. And then it would be somewhere in your API connector.
Oh, there you go.
Yep, there we go.
And then that should be job search locations value. And then that should be, why am I typing that? I'm a moron. There we go. Search you. Nope. What do I call it? Input search use value.
Every single time that value changes, we're re-querying that API, basically, in this case.
Correct, yeah.
So
sorry, I don't know why, sorry, you're telling me. I don't know why I said correct. Yes, you know what it's doing, don't you? Let's update that. I'm gonna have to head off soon. Business, jobs. That's still referring to itself, isn't it?
Did we change that?
Yeah, we didn't change it back. That's why. Okay, but this still needs something in there, doesn't it?
Yeah, so I guess we can start with, let's just start with London and see.
Unknown. And yeah, that's
The
fine.
location name, so it does matter in the documentation if the location's required.
Okay, I have no idea. I'll have to find that out.
Because
Nice.
I'm thinking that on page load, you could just query that API and then it would populate that dropdown. And then when you, yeah, because if you don't include a location, it should just include everything, right? And you should be able to put like a query limit, maybe of like 50 items or something.
Belfast. Oh no.
So right now, what we've done is we've like when this is loaded, it's loading in London data, right?
Yeah. Well, no, because these places aren't in London. That's what I mean.
Oh,
Like,
this is Kings Lynn. This is Soham.
that's what I mean. Like, if all of them showed London, I would know that it was because it's pulling London data. But it's almost like the queries don't make a difference. There we go. So it's updated, but it's saying Solihull, location Merseys. It's changing something. It's just not changing the right thing.
Can you go to the repeating group and look at the constraints you have on it? Those are filtered by anything? No, this is it. That's all you got.
Yeah.
So it's not sorted by anything either. Now if you do include a sort by location,
So what?
so
Take these
that would be data source, read jobs, API call data, results filtered.
Oh, but I mean, am I taking this
sorted.
out or am I leaving those in?
Yeah, you're leaving that in. That's fine. So sorted. Yeah, and let's see if we can sort it by location. Location name. So okay. Yeah, let's try this out. Sort of just spitballing here, just trying to see what we can do. So one of the things that I would consider doing is on page load querying in that API call. Because the way it is currently, it's static with London, so it pulls in this data.
Okay, so hang on. I was going to say they all began with W, but I think that was just a lucky one.
Yeah, let's see what we can. Scroll all the way down, because if it's sorted by W and W's at the top and we have descending as yes.
Oh, something happened there.
Can we do descending as no, perhaps? Because it looks like we're looking at the last letters of the alphabet here.
Oh, right, yeah.
Descending is no, yep. But God, I don't know if that would, if the filter or the sorted by is going to be.
Well, that's only sorting by the records that have been brought in, right? So unless it's sending through all of the records in their business, which is obviously not. Yeah.
So the sorted by is looking at all of the records that currently exist, and
yeah, it is, isn't it? Because AB, yeah. You know what I think I might do? I think I might try and find a better job search API.
Well, in truth, I think there is a solution to this where, like on page load, we query in that data using an action, and then in step 2 of what data is populated, we could refer to those each city's items, or each job's location rather. I'm just trying to think of because we may have to string multiple API calls together to not only first populate the data, but then second be able to use that data in a dropdown. Like have it filtered by that. So sorted isn't correct. We don't want to sort your repeating group. But I'm thinking that, like I said, on page load, we take, well, then we're taking this. So we'd be using a data and an action. Data sources.
I'm going to have to run in a minute, unfortunately.
I'd love to give this some more thought. If you can join me on office hours on Monday or Tuesday, or if you want to send me.
It'll have to be Friday because your office hours is like 2 a.m. for me. I'm in the UK.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, on Friday. Or if you just want to send me a one-on-one and we can sit down together and hash this out. I know that it's doable. Yeah, I don't think you have to need to find a new job search API.
Okay.
But
Cool.
yeah, we'll get this smashed. No problem.
Sounds good. Appreciate your help with the company search one, though. That's been bugging me for a while. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Rock on.
Good to see you, Callum.
Good to see you too, Tonya. Bye.
Bye.
All righty. Well, that's a wrap. We're going to go ahead and move on to after office hours. Thank you, anybody and everybody who has watched from home, or I don't know why I said that. You could be watching on the train even. So thanks for watching. We're going to move, like I said, into after office hours available to our developer members, where if you have questions or comments or just want to show off your app, and it's a little bit more private in nature, we'll take care of you there. With that said, thanks for watching. You have a good one.
Bye, everybody.